Well, welcome back to the Timeline Ranch. It's a beautiful morning. Thought we'd take a walk around this pond and see how everything's looking after this good monsoonal rain event we had. There's just one, but that's all it takes out here at the ranch. Let's go for a walk. What a beautiful sight to see after all that hard work and such a long dry spell. Looking a lot greener than it has in a long time. Let's take a look inside this little fenced area where the mule deer don't have access to it. Of course, the smaller rodents can get in here still. That's our best looking moringa at the ranch. I was out here 2 months ago watering it, but then it had a good dry spell where it didn't get any water. Some nice native grasses coming in here. We've got another deal coming up at the base of the deal that matured and seeded this year. Still a few seeds on there. Oh, we've got a bunch of deal down here coming up. There's probably about 20 of them down there coming up. This is everything I make my tea out of, just moringa leaves and flowers, along with dill seeds. Looks like we've got some young asparagus sprouts coming up here. Yeah, I planted asparagus in this one. This one here was almost taken completely out by that rain event. I'm going to have to rework this. It's going to go away anyway. Backroast is looking nice and healthy, of course. Got some more deal coming in here. This is golden purslane that I planted. I threw a bunch of seeds from that out. Another deal right here. Not seeing anything come up in this bed yet. Maybe here in a few more weeks something will come up. Of course I won't be here to see it. Next trip I'll be out here is about 3 months from now. Looks like this one died, that moringa. I'm gonna have to officially call it at this point. No deal growing there. I would say it's a win for not being here. You know, if I was here, it would change everything. But it's not an option right now. You see a nice little deposit of organic material in a few stages as it drained through that leaky weir. That was the high point right there. And it got down to that next stage, deposited more. Got a nice bed of rabbit feces and seeds and organic material. The quality of the soil is just going to slowly increase over time here at the pond as this happens every season. It's going to be the most fertile area within miles of here. Looking nice and green in this little pocket. Some bacchus in different stages of flowering. Just got some seeds there. Some new flowers there. A lot of native grasses coming in here, which is what I want to see. I'm not much of a mulcher. I like to see grasses coming in, ground cover, native ground cover. And we got a bunch of different little species here. Everything that's upstream from here and what can get blown in and brought in from the birds, I should get a good mixed variety of everything. A lot of varieties of native grasses coming in here. Looks like we got a okra starting right there. That's a beautiful sight. Got some larger okra here. A little cluster of them, about 4 or 5. This is a type of water grass right here growing in. Got a lot of bird droppings. But you know that brings life. Pecan tree that we planted 2 months ago is looking like it's got some new growth there. Got some garden purslane growing right there. That's the wild version of purslane. There was a bunch of little babies here last time I was here. Looks like it dried out too much and they couldn't make it though. There's some going there. I'm sure it'll seed. There are a lot of types of crabgrass growing in here. Should get some nice ground cover going. Little interesting little solo bee there, or that may be a hoverfly. A lot of native grasses. Beautiful sight. You can see where the seed sediment deposits are due to that little one rock dam I have over there. They're all going to be growing in here nice and thick. That rock and cover this flat little area that I made. A lot more seeds. There was a bunch of seeds floating in the pond from these types of grasses here. There's one of the other pecan trees that I planted 2 months ago. The ground cover's coming in nicely like I want to see. Shading that soil, keeping that moisture in there. Yeah, we got some new growth on it. It's a good sign. Hopefully it's going to put its energy in its roots. So we know that's what really matters out here. Yeah, it's really starting to green up out here. So here's our one rock dam on the outflow of the pond. You see a good bit of that organic material caught up in it. Got some side oats grama here. That's a good sign of some nice deep fertile soils. Yeah, it's definitely starting to fill in here. Hopefully the rains keep coming. Keep the magic happening. There's some more okra coming in right here. All these seeds are from 2 years ago. I didn't throw any more seeds out since then, so whatever's growing, it's growing from then. Ground's still quite moist right here. Looks like our pecan tree's not minding that. It's got a lot more leaf growth. It was looking like it was in survival mode last time I was here. Yeah, there's a lot of little okra popping up inside that fenced in area. A white-winged dove making a bunch of noise. Some more of that water grass coming in here. Haven't seen any cattails. Unfortunately, I think the cattails couldn't make it through that drought. Now, this is what I'm hoping all of this will look like over time. Well, looks like a damselfly. Just found his end of life. One of the local residents. Part of the life cycle. This is our original pecan tree. The soil has not been disturbed here in about 6 years. And you can see just how nice that ground cover is now. But it started raining again. Can't wait to see all this look like that. It's a beautiful sight. This is probably, oh, half a meter tall. Close to 2 foot height. Not a lot of growth vertically on this one this year. You see last year during the drought it grew from that point up to here. This was about 18 inches, about a half a meter. This year we just got a little bit of growth here. Hopefully this year it'll put its effort into its roots after going through that hard drought. It's getting there though. As long as it stays alive, that's what matters. That's a beautiful sight, seeing all that organic material deposited in these rocks. You know, there's grass seeds and all types of other plant seeds in there, along with droppings from rabbits and other animals, along with the birds contributing every day. Got some more ochre here. Ochre is very suited to this environment, apparently. Looks like another damselfly looking for a cobweb. Some crabgrass growing in there. That's that dead English walnut that didn't have a chance. I planted it right before the worst drought in 15 years. Backers is doing really good over here, like usual. Yeah, a lot of that crabgrass coming in. I'm okay with that. Nice ground cover. Got all this water grass here. I thought this was dead. I didn't think it was going to make it through that drought, but it held on. I'm sure this will mingle nicely with the other native grasses. Starting to get some nice ground cover out here where we didn't have much before. You can see the water line on this fine mesh here. That was a good bit of water. This is the other overflow for the pond. There's a lot of water flowing through here. I need to dig this pond a lot deeper and a lot bigger, so I'm letting it all go down to the Rio Grande at this point. So this Mission Texas almond that's in there looks like it decided to give up, unfortunately. And getting a lot of little ground cover foliage. Some grama growing right there. Nice stand of baccharis through here. Got a white-winged dove right there. So this Mission Texas almond still has a little green on one stem. I don't know if it's going to bounce back, but it's definitely had a hard run. I planted it along with the English walnuts at the start of the worst drought in 15 years. And then if you didn't catch the videos, we had an issue with white-throated wood rat or pocket mice or something getting on it and eating all the branches and leaves off of it. So that's why I put this fine mesh on here to keep them out, which looks like that worked. And looks like it didn't rain after I was here for a while, and it went ahead and started dropping its leaves again. Maybe it'll bounce back. They're pretty resilient, a lot more resilient than the other 9 trees I planted that trip. And all this organic material that was deposited from the pond, this overflow event. A nice little catchment right there too. I'll take all of that the nature will give me from upstream. So this Mission Texas almond still looks pretty good. It's got some nice leaf out. Yeah, looks like this one's gonna make it. Got some hairy grama growing in there with it. A little bit of crabgrass. I haven't seen that species of ground cover out here. Came from upstream. Got a little ground cover out here as well. Those are those Chinese chestnut that didn't make it, these 3. A little bit of ground cover here and there out in this area. It'll get better over time. Let's go right over here to that planter that had the 4 Moringa growing. This is a very happy creosote bush. That's about as green as they get. It's right here in this little outflow off of what will be a radius area with some date palms and different fruit trees, a little picnic table area. These are all those spoils that I didn't have time to haul out of here from that last trip I had the excavator out. There's some barley growing in right here. Seeds I threw out a couple years ago, finally growing. Got some little ground cover coming in here. That's a little bit of garden purslane right there. Here we are on the little planter area. Looks like this Moringa isn't going to make it. It may come up, we'll see. Got some little midget melons. And looks to be cantaloupe growing there. I'm sure here in a few months they'll be looking pretty good. Golden purslane coming in. Doesn't look like much else came up in that bed. I don't know if this Moringa is going to come back. It had some life in it the last time I was here. Looks like it may have given up. This moringa's starting to come back after the drought. You can see it got dry again. Let's see if it makes it. I don't see anything coming up in that bed. There's a salt cedar. We don't want that to get started. Looks like this moringa isn't going to make it. Looks like we have some very young asparagus coming in. A little bit of golden purslane there. Another asparagus. Looks like another asparagus here coming in. I think they'll do well here at the ranch. Yeah, we just need some rain or to be here to water it, one of the two. Make it all grow. Backers is looking nice. This will lock that soil in nicely. Got quite a few damselflies and other types of insects out here around the pond. Yeah, this area right here is really looking good. Yeah, I'm really liking what this environment's looking like right here along this edge. A nice thick stand of mule fat or bacrocillifolio, however you'd like to see it. Got a lot of native grasses coming in underneath it. Later in the season, a lot of those leaves will deposit right here, and then when the rains come, they'll get washed into the pond and the breakdown process will start happening. I'll be able to harvest that later. Got some water grass coming in down there. You can see it right there in the water. I'd like to see some cattails mixed in with this as well. A lot of places for the damselflies to take a break. Got some side oats grama right here. That's a good sign of some fairly deep quality soil in that area. Really liking seeing all this grass seed in the water here. It's going to green it up nicely around all the edges where it gets deposited over time. Yeah, it's a beautiful sight when it all starts to come together like that. Well, I think that's going to be it for this one. If you like what I'm doing out here and you want to help speed this project up, there's a few ways to do that in the description of the video. Buy me a coffee is one. There's also Amazon. Every little bit will help me get closer to being out here full time and making this project go a lot faster. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.